We were planning a family trip with our the three children. At that time, Karen was 12, Anna was 9, and Rasmus was 7 years old. And we wanted to go for, like I said, a year-long trip, and we wanted to spend some serious time volunteering. But we also wanted to do it within an organization that we could actually, vouch for. There's a lot of, you can say, plastic volunteering out there. So my wife did almost half a year of research, talking to a lot of people, coming up with a lot of suggestions. But then one day she just struck a nerve, and she talked to a guy that said, all right, I have the exact place. And he said that we should look for the Mirror Foundation. And she contacted the Mirror Foundation, and we actually got in contact with a guy called Telly, I think. And at that time, the Rysum School was just starting up. It was a few buildings and a nursery, and he sent us here. And I guess you can say the rest is history, right?
Well, I think at that time we went for like 9 months, just traveling, and we didn't just want to go on like a 9-month-long vacation. That was a bit long, and we would get tired of it. Just like exploring and not get real connections with people and places. So we wanted to stay somewhere for a while, and then volunteering was a really good
Way of doing
way
that.
of doing
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And also I think now, which is that's 5 years ago, right? I think this is actually our preferred way of spending our free time, you could say. So our kids and we have grown into sort of I wouldn't say a mindset, it sounds so big, right? But a way of considering our spare time as something you can actually do something with. And it actually turns out that it brings us much more closer together than you can say lying on a beach or shopping in Barcelona or whatever we could think of. And we come back with a different kind of reloaded batteries, you can say. It's I wouldn't say it's hard work, but it's definitely a piece of work to get up in the morning, and you have to be present all the time because things are so different. Huge conflict between these are Chai people, we think. They come from different tribes that are actually, they don't feel like being part of Myanmar. They feel like they have their own country that has been taken away from them by the Myanmar government. So they're in a no man's land, you can say. And this is the place they can go. It's only 50 kilometers from the border, right? So it's easy for them to get here. They just cross the mountain, or just, that's a tough travel, right? And they can get paid maybe 3 times more than in Myanmar. So they come here both because of the conflict and because of the relatively small increase in life standards, you can say. And actually, I don't know. I think this is a key hotspot for the kids to come for education, And what you have to know about Rhizome is that it's not just about educating the children that are capable of taking an education, because if you just do that, the big children will have to stay at home and watch the small children. So you have to set up the entire system around. There's a nursery, there is food, there is.
They get clothes and blankets,
Yeah.
and they make it really desirable for the parents to send the kids
Yeah.
to school. And they work on getting ID cards, which is the first level of
Being part of the
being
Thai
part
community.
of Thailand,
Yeah.
both for the parents and for the kids.
So working on a systemic perspective, you can say, because you cannot just isolate the children and get them some education. You have to think about the entire system. How does each family work? Because, like I said, one practical issue is that if you only go for the educational children, you'll miss the small, the kindergarten, and they have to stay home and watch them, and so you won't have a school for those, right?
Yeah.
So you have to bring in the nursery. That's actually what they started out with, because the small children got along, and then the big children also had some time off, you could say,
Right.
and then they built it from that, and that's also what fascinates us. That is not you can say a focused effort. It's a systemic effort. Also working on legal rights, also working on their. I think that what we have experienced, at least with these children, is that they're present, but on their own terms. When we show up and show them that presence also include, you can say, showing. From my perspective, it's generosity and love. They really connect with that, so that you're more than just yourself. We don't have those kind of issues because we're much more well off, and showing them that you can actually be an adult at least and take care of them and show them some sort of care, I would say, but showing them that it makes sense to give a hug, to give a high five, to give a smile, and to show that you actually care about these people. That I think that's what I think they connect with.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about English teaching. That's not it. Somebody from the outside showing up and showing them that they're actually in the minds of somebody else than themselves. Because typically, what they experience is that their parents, it's a work relationship, or that's what we're being told, at least, because they have to take care of themselves. I think when we actually asked the staff the first time we were here, does it even matter if we were here, right? And they said, to be honest, the math and the English, not so much. But giving them some sort of aspiration, that actually matters a whole lot more. So not that they're becoming us, that we're not the aspiration, but the aspiration of the presence that we talked about before. How can you actually be in the world, show responsibility, and also show responsibility for your peers, and not just for yourself. And there are people outside of Rhizome that are actually thinking about them and making, you can say, an effort of bringing some increased quality of life circumstances to them. A lot of the guys we met 5 years ago, especially the boys, because they're strong, have started working both mechanics, construction, going to Chiang Mai, factories, which is, you can say, seen from a Western perspective, that doesn't sound like a lot, but to these kids, that's a huge leap, right? Because the income is maybe tripling, and the work situation is just much better, much more secure also. Oh yeah, that's Tong Shop. Well, of course, we tend to connect with the children that are, outgoing, like Anna, right? She's an outgoing girl, and you easily connect with these children. He was a teenager with, hair down his head, and he had the guts and the courage to. They're very polite people, so they don't ask you for anything. But he actually came and he showed me the phone, and he said, "Can you buy me a bass?" He wanted to play the bass, and that was his big dream, right? And then we just went ahead and did it. We ordered it from some shop, and he got the bass, and he's still sending videos of him playing, simple YouTube songs or whatever. And of course, the language barrier is still there, but that just feels like I think that at least Tong Shop has felt that somebody really cares about him, and we actually care about him. It can seem like a story of a rich white people coming in and you're just picking one and give, but that was not the situation. It was about him being courageous enough to ask me, and we wanted to respond to that in the best possible way.
I think we see, like, of course, it has mattered a lot for us, and we talk about it all the time, and like it's this crazy big thing in our lives, and especially in my life. I was 12 first time, and it changed my life. But I think the more we come back, the more proof we see that it mattered to the children as well, especially from the first time we came here.
They also build a platform for the kids that actually want to grow. They can really take some responsibility and grow and take some responsibility for themselves. It's a tall order being 13 and take responsibility for your own life, but if Rysam was not here, that platform would not exist, right? A win-win-win situation, you can say. It's a win situation first and foremost, but at least for our family. We're a different family now because of Rysam and because of the things that we have done here. And this is not just any organization. I think this organization, as we've been here 5 years and we're going to come back again, they're in it for the long run. So they're actually doing an effort that makes sense. There's a lot of, like I said, plastic volunteering and washing elephants and stuff like that, taking photos for Instagram. These guys are in it for the long run, and that makes sense to us at least. It is a relatively so nobody realizes that this is the second largest immigrant issue in the world, next to Mexico. So it's a problem worth solving. You can say it's not a small problem, and also it's not just 10. Our effort is 1, and the result is 10 with these children. Like I said, the story about Tong Shop, but also the money that we bring. It's so transparent to see how they spend it. There's no overhead, so we feel like we're giving everything we can, and it's going straight into creating, you can say, value for these children, and value in the sense not just giving them school books and teaching them English, but actually making their life improve and creating the platform that I mentioned before, where these kids can grow from. So I think that's what makes sense to us, and that's why we want to go through you can say, the hardships of not going on vacation and relaxing, lying on a beach, but actually being here. It's so much more rewarding, and we come back with rich life batteries when we have been here, right? And that's just so much worth so much more for us and our children than. Yeah. So I'm really I feel blessed that we've met these people, and that we just by coincidence or by my wife's research ran into this fantastic place, and it also gives you sort of a global perspective of, hey, there are people all over the place that are worth getting to know. All right, sure. But if we're ever in Thailand, this is where we're gonna go, right? Yeah. Rice field in the middle of, you can say, nowhere. Yeah. But that's actually this is happiness and love actually for us is this place. It's such a great experience to be here. Yeah.